Just prime example. In my case, on the morning of my trial, my lawyer came and said, well, they offered you a plea agreement. I said, yeah. He said, yeah. He said, okay. I was like, what is it? He said, well, they're going to drop the R word. They're going to drop the kidnapping. They're going to drop the abduction. They're going to drop the abduction with intent to defile. They're going to drop, the assault, and they're going to drop everything. Only thing you got to do is plead guilty to a misdemeanor assault, and you'll get out of here today. You'll walk out with time served. I think I was in there for 6 months, right? But because I was already on probation for, possessing some illegalities, I'll say, if I would have pled guilty to that, it would have been an instant revocation of my probation. So I was like, nah, I can't do that. But I asked them why. I was like, why is this prosecutor willing to drop all the charges? He said, well, because she knows it's bullish. He said, because she knows it's bullish, right? So she knew the person was lying, but her job was once again to get a conviction, not seek justice. So I had to go through a week-long trial. The same lawyer, and this what I told my lawyer, the same DA who was painting me as a monster and as a criminal was going to let me out that morning. But now she's telling the jury all these stuff. And I was like, well, lawyer, can't you tell the jury that she just offered me a plea to get out? He was like, nah, because that goes against the ethics of negotiation. So this is what we're dealing with. Yeah. Like I was like, man, that should be cut and dry. Like if she thought I did this, why would she be willing to let me out, with a misdemeanor charge? But her job, once again, was to get a conviction, not find justice. So, but yeah, court-appointed lawyers, you gotta stay on them. If you have family outside, you got to get them to stay on them, and really, you got to know the law. You got to know the law, because in most cases, most states, if you are being held without bond, they have to bring you to trial within a certain amount of time. In Virginia, that time it was 150 days. And that court-appointed lawyer tried to get me to do a continuance, but I had studied the law, and I was like, nope, because the only way your speedy trial is negated is if you, the defendant, agree to a continuance. And if I would have did that, they sat you in jail for like 2 or 3 years, and then, they offer you 4 years. You've been in there 3 years. You're like, okay, well, what's another year, right? But most people don't know that, and then they end up 3-4 years sitting in the case that they probably could beat, that they might not be guilty of,